Woodhouses Bastle, 16th of July 2011. The time is 20 to 10. Tape 2 starting recording. Upper floor of the Bastle.
Hi and welcome to our new video. This is looking back to 2011 investigation at Woodhouses Bastle in Northumberland. Now this was one that didn't have any ghost stories about it beforehand, so it was a clean slate and something of an experiment. It was July, British summertime, so obviously the rain was pretty hard, so apologies for any sound interference that you'll be able to hear from the recordings. So for now, over to Sheila.
Generally, Bastle is derived from the French word Bastille, meaning stronghold. They were built in response to the ongoing conflict between the Scots and the English, which the unification of the Crown in 1603 didn't entirely stop. They also provided protection from inter-family raiding by gangs known as reavers. Many families were involved in reaving. It wasn't just villains. The way of life, the way of earning a living was precarious from August to February, and many families would take part in it. Battles were built between 1550 and 1650, and they're an anomaly in the north as opposed to the south, because anybody below gentry level couldn't afford to build buildings out of stone. Bastles were sometimes called a poor man's tower. And these defensible farmhouses were usually roughly built of large irregular blocks of stone. They were either mortared or the gaps were filled with smaller wedge-shaped offcuts of the dressed stones, and this was known as garroting. They were usually around 12 metres by 8 metres, consisting of 2 stories, with walls between 0.7 metres and 1.3 metres thick. The ground floor was the bias with protection of the most valuable animals, and the family lived above. The byre might have had ventilation slits but no windows from a safety point of view. A few had vaulted byres, but the majority had enormous beams with which to support the timber floor. All roofs are now covered with stone slabs of slate, but turves or heavy thatching may have been in place originally.
I'm sorry for getting bitten to death, right?
So it's nice out there. What do you think? Middle of July, you'd get some decent weather.
I know. Just all looking a minute, wasn't it?
It's all the midges around as well.
I know. I've got a test job.
So on just a second. Fly in the eye.
Orbs.
That's a fetching look on the camcorder there, Sheila.
On my head.
Right, do you just want to go in and just unpack the kit? There we go. Right. Yep, carry on. Good cleaning of all the tripods is probably worthwhile after this one.
I think you're right, yeah.
Definitely a bit itchy, isn't it?
Clear up now. Whether it's been you or not.
Yes. I'll be alright on the night. As soon as it does clear up, Danny, if me and you go around, just get about 5 minutes footage of the outside.
Yeah.
Because if we do it that way, if I don't get a bit, you'll probably get it, and vice versa. Then we'll just edit it together.
Right.
Right. Where's the... Where do you think the camera should go? We've got one mobile camcorder for yourself and two we can put on static.
Well, I think we should put one upstairs and one downstairs.
I'm going with
You could probably put a camera on the outside looking in.
Well,
From the back gate upstairs.
right.
That's ground level, so you
Yes.
can get in and you get the walls inside that way.
Just in the doorway. Is that door open or not?
I'll show you.
Yeah.
it isn't it?
Right.
It's locked, but you can probably put it through
Yeah.
the gaps.
It all depends on the weather again though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can get one up there. You have to do it from the outside, wouldn't
But at the same time you're going to be looking directly at the door.
you?
So for a while you're going to get the glare.
You could probably
Maybe if we actually just put one in the doorway, looking back in, so it should actually get basically the whole of this bottom chamber. Right, and Lee, what equipment are you going to be using, and where are you going?
I think we'll grab the upstairs first.
Hey, I just said I was.
We are.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right, I'm definitely taking the upstairs first. No, I was going up first.
Yeah.
That's fine, right. Apparently we're taking the downstairs first. So, equipment, I think we'll obviously, if we're going to be carrying around the EMF meters just in case anything turns up, then we'll use we'll grab the Gauss master if we want, and we'll just do a quick baseline just in case anything should occur later on.
So what are you looking for using
Well,
these?
first of
meter?
all, we'll just make sure that there isn't any underground or in the walls wiring that might interfere with anything. And also we need a baseline just if we're walking around later and something does, if the meter does pick anything up, we want to make sure that it wasn't there to start with, so that's the idea behind that. I'm also thinking of putting up maybe one or two trigger objects, just for the hell of it really. Other than that, I think we're going to play it by ear. I think we'll do some audio with the dictaphones, do a EVP session, or an audio session. Got John with taking the photographs and Danny with a camcorder to record everything that happens. And obviously the what's it called? Yeah, the what are they called?
Like that.
No. The audio thing?
Frank's box?
No. It's completely gone on my head.
The dictaphone.
Yes. So we can record it with photography, camcorder and audio as well. But yes, maybe we'll try the Frank's box as well. See if there's any radio signals getting picked up.
John, what type of camera you got?
This one? I
Yeah.
can't see it, it's dark.
Right, moving swiftly on. Right, so you two are obviously taking the top floor. What equipment are you taking?
Well, I'm going to take some photographs. I've got a dictaphone already recording up there in one of the alcoves. I'm going to take another dictaphone and we're going to do some EVP. I've got Frank's box, so we're hoping to use that. And I think I'd like to put one or two trigger objects there as well.
Okay. So what are you going to use the Frank's box for?
We're going to try and capture some EVPs. I'm going to record it.
Okay. How does the Frank's box work?
Well, basically it scans all the radio stations but doesn't manage to tune into anything. The theory is that you can pick up voices from it, or spirit, so-called spirit, can use it to form voices that we can understand and record.
Grand. Thank you very much. Just currently recording on the plan where the camcorder's been set.
there anybody here who'd like to talk to us tonight?
Me. Sorry, I'll stop me.
My name's Sharon and I'm with Sheila and Tony. And we'd like to find out a bit more about... Put a couple of objects down, so if you could move one of those to show us you're here, that would be really good. We'd really appreciate that. We're not here to scare you or anything, we just would like to communicate with you really. We can't see you, but if you're talking to this little thing I'm holding in my hand, I might be able to hear you. Or you could move something, or tap Tony on the shoulder. Or make a sheep go quiet. It would be interesting to hear how it wins. What did you do?
Got scared by a pigeon.
Pigeon trying to get in.
Oh.
Oh, he was more scared the pigeon.
Flash. So what are you doing at the moment, Sheila?
I've just paused the dictaphone. Sharon's going to do some more EVP later. And I'm just marking down on the notes exactly what's happening. We're going to do an EMF survey now. Would you like to do this, Sharon?
Yeah.
You know how to do it, don't
I
you?
do.
Working a grid.
Yeah.
Backwards and forwards.
And remember where the stairs.
And remember where the stairs are.
Yes. This thing just shows you how little light there actually is in here, really. I think your eye adjusts very easily rather than the camcorder. Maybe look through that. Just notice it.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
And yet, like you said, the eye adjusts really.
Aye.
Just interested in no harm. Could you tell us whether you're male or female? Or you want the top down, the boat was going. Do you live here in Northumberland?
It's 10 o'clock, still partially light outside. There's not enough light really to see by in the building, so I've been using night vision. And we're going to set up a series of data loggers. I'm going to set them next to the dictaphone on the top floor, and next to the camcorder and the other dictaphone and trigger objects in the alcove at the far side of the room. The data loggers record temperature and humidity every 10 seconds for up to 48 hours. At the end of the investigation we can collect them in and it'll graph out the temperature baseline for us. The humidity, if it fluctuates, should show when we've got breezes coming in through the open windows, and so if there are any trigger object movement around about these times, we know it will be caused by that. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Audacity laptop session set up at 22:08 on the 16th of July 2011.
We'll have to draw around the door, don't we?
Yep.
May not take the unless I put that. I should do that.
What are you doing here?
So, do you think crossed or
Cross. Yep.
Crossed up.
right?
That's going to be awkward to draw around.
I know.
I'll take a photograph of that.
Then again, as long as you get a general.
Do I draw around it first and then just put some pointers on it?
As long as you get the end of the keys, that'll feel, you know what I mean? So if I do move,
Maybe the inner circles of the key?
the circles, yeah.
Right, so we've placed a couple of trigger objects. The idea behind the trigger objects is essentially you record the position that they're in on a piece of paper, for instance, and then during the night you'll check and see if there's been any movement. The idea being that if there's any spirits, they might be able to move the trigger object. It's difficult in this location because there's no, usually you'd put them on tables or windowsills, something stable. But the ground's not particularly conducive to do it, but we'll try it anyway. It may be difficult if they move slightly to tell, but if they move substantially we should be able to tell. So we've put the two keys down next to the doorway. We've got a penny in the other corner down there. And we've photographed the positions of them. And we've checked during the night, during the investigation and at the end to see if there's been any movement. So